this GTV and a PTV, and then this is the 9-field plan of 3D CRT, and this is easy case, small SCC and large liver to spare. The previous case was difficult, but big tumor and liver is volume is compromised. Now, there is some kind of there is a difference in how you prescribe the dose. What I prescribe and what Rashi or anybody else, I don't know who all are there in the audience, prescribes will be different. Now here you see these two red lines. This is the GTV and the PTV. Okay. Now the prescription here is to this blue line, which is the 75% isodose line. So 75% isodose line is covering this red tumor. So, and then we will watch out for the fall of dose. Now this fall of dose is yellow, which is 60%, purple 40%, and blue 20%. So sometimes we will say, okay, we'll give to the GTV 100% and PTV 80%. We do many times. But some people in a smaller tumor, you can do this, what I am describing, prescribe to this 75 so that the inside dose will be much higher. So when you make 75%, pardon?
ఇప్పుడు వస్తలేమో చూడమ్మ ఒక్క నిమిషం ఆడియో వస్తుందా
కంటిన్యూ సార్
వస్తుంట
ఓకే సో
నేను ఫస్ట్ అది ప్రెస్ చేస్తే అమ్మ తెలుసా వద్దు ఆఫ్ చేయి మన
okay now coming to some of the results are good with SBRT. You can see 1 year local control in the range of 80%, 90%, 100%. So local control is very good, but still survival is short. 1 year overall. So why survival is short if the local control is so high? So most of these patients either die of multiple recurrences or liver failure. So our job is one, to get good local control and then save as much normal liver as possible in order that we get a good survival. But they die of, say, chronic liver failure because of underlying cirrhosis and other problems. This is the thing I was talking about, how to see a pathological response. So these patients, as I was talking previously, that had quoted 4 series. This is the radiation which was used as a bridge to transplant in hepatocellular. So the dose was about 48 gray to 50 gray in 5 to 8 fractions. And then they were waiting for transplant and then they underwent transplant. So this is the real pathological response you can see. It's not only radiological, that in transplanted liver, they saw a local control of 100%. 80%, 100%. So this gives us a lot of kind of assurance that SBRT really works well with high response rates. However, we should be careful about the liver toxicities. Radiation-induced liver disease is often talked, but if we take a lot of precautions and whatever constraint we have discussed, we respect, then it is very low, less than 2%. Soft tissue chest wall, if you don't respect the tolerance, sometimes 1%. Duodenal ulcer, I was describing that duodenum is sometimes comes very close to your left lobe or caudate lobe tumors, and therefore stomach and duodenum should be respected, their tolerance should be respected. So what SBRT does to portal vein thrombosis, it has a resolving rate of around, it resolves the portal vein thrombosis in about 40-50% of the people. And in patients where it will allow resolving the thrombus, it will allow embolic therapies. For example, TACE, etc., then can perfuse through that and can control the tumor. So therefore, this is a very good outcome. Sometimes the liver tumor is so big we can't treat, but we sometimes treat only the portal vein thrombosis, so that we open up the vessel and then maybe a TACE or tear can work. So that is also one of the aims of treating only the portal vein thrombosis when we find that the primary liver tumor is beyond our SBRT. So now coming to the cholangiocarcinoma. Again here we use CTV microscopy. In HCC, we usually don't use CTV microscopy. You take the whole tumor with little liberal margin. Some people take a very tight GTV, then you put CTV microscopy. But if you are taking a little liberal, so many people say since the visualization of the tumor, cutoff of the tumor from the normal liver is not very sharp in CT MRI, and therefore you take little liberal GTV. So once we take liberal, it takes care of CTV microscopy. But here you have to take in cholangiocarcinoma. So gross tumor is whatever. So if you are treating this patient without surgery upfront, which is not usually the case, usually they will come you after surgery. But this is if patient has come to you before surgery, whatever the tumor is visible on contrast enhanced scan or MRI considered to be better, or taking help of the PET scan, that will be your GTV. However, if patient is coming to you after surgery, then this becomes like a ghost GTV because you have to have a tumor bed from where the surgery was done. So then also you make this GTV and you say this is a presumptive GTV or GTV where the GTV existed, you will make that GTV. Then CTV microscopy, usually a margin of 5 to 8 millimeter. We usually take 8 millimeter margin around this GTV or post-operative tumor bed, and we make a GTV plus 8 millimeter margin with the biliary system. However, please don't cross the natural barriers. Many times I see the contour going outside of the liver capsule. So don't do that. You cut off from there. And also CTV microscopic is used in the adjuvant treatment, in that tumor bed with possible extension to focal biliary system. Here at adjuvant I was talking, you make a tumor bed and then you find out where were the margins. So if the margin, biliary margins were involved or closed, you will take your field accordingly. So reading pre-operative CT scan MRI, reading detailed operative notes, reading detailed pathology report, then only you can do a good tumor bed. Otherwise, many things will be missed and we will be only treating the post-op sequelae. Look at what is happening to the biliary system, where the surgeon was compromising. And sometimes we have to ask surgeon where you compromise in this resection, because liver resection in cholangiocarcinoma is not that easy. It has always problems. Then these are the lymph nodes. So which are the draining lymph nodes? I will show you 2-3 slides on this. You should include porta hepatis, pancreatoduodenal, common hepatic, celiac. However, splenic hilar, you may not take if 1 or 2 lymph nodes are involved, a good sampling has been done, you may avoid splenic hilar. But this area, porta hepatis, pancreatic or duodenal, common hepatic and celiac lymph nodes have to be treated electively. Then PTV, same as we dealt with in HCC, same concept. Liver is moving, you are using a motion protocol or not. If you are using a motion protocol, then according to the exact track or RPM or abdominal compression, and if you are not using, then you have to draw a big PTV of around 1.5 centimeter, 2 centimeter, depending on the fluoroscopy report. So this is an intrahepatic cholangiocarcinoma, post-operative bed, which we treated about 2.5, 3 years back. So these are the hemostatic markers there. So this is the post-operative bed here. And you can see here again, the kidney and the liver concepts are still very valid, and we have to say liver because these are most of the time post-operative. So important. Now these are the lymph nodes. So you will target porta hepatis, then you will target lymph nodes along the lesser curvature. This is the stomach. 7 means stomach, and yellow are lesser curvature lymph nodes. This purple whatever pink color is the greater curvature stomach lymph nodes. Here also you can see these are the cardiac lymph nodes. This is the stomach in between. This coming like this. They have not put a contrast here, but we do put a contrast to see. So same, some sections down, again, the stomach, lesser curvature, greater curvature, and we also take so these are the celiac lymph nodes. This is the splenic hilar. If there's a high nodal positivity here, then only you take this. Otherwise, this is optional. Then this is the nodes along the greater curvature. Then these are the important nodes along the common hepatic arteries and hepatoduodenal ligament. So this is along the hepatic artery, and then these are the nodes along the splenic artery, which I said you may include depending on high nodal positivity. You will have to include. So your field then will go right big from here to here to here like this. So therefore, if you are worried about too much of toxicity and patient has one or two nodes, then maybe you can leave this. So we have to individualize. So these are this one is retropancreatic nodes, which need to be included. Another section here, these are the suprapancreatic lymph nodes, and then pancreatic or duodenal lymph nodes, all this. So this forms a kind of a continuity, usually in continuity with the primary tumor. So then I will now show you a few of our examples, just to have a little clearer picture. So this was a patient I'm going to show on a post-surgical recurrence. Patient had hepatocellular carcinoma and he had a partial hepatectomy. He was 60-year-old, he is actually still alive, 60-year-old male, and treated way back in 12. He's still alive 8 years later. So he had a hepatocellular carcinoma in segment 5 and 6. Alpha-fetoprotein was very high in 13,000. He had in May 12 partial hepatectomy, and the tumor was big, 11 into 8 into 9. Usually, I was asking surgeon, why did you operate? This was a very big tumor. Usually 5 centimeters is the cutoff. Was operated. And the histopathology was grade 3 hepatocellular carcinoma, classified as still T1. Size doesn't matter in staging. He remained well for 7 months till December 12. Then a PET scan was done on